Saturday Night Live.
All right, so today in the studio with me, I've got James and the Manic Street Preachers. How you doing?
How you doing, Mel?
All right, so what's been going on recently then? Tell me what you've been up to.
Well, we've just been trying to make ourselves sound good, which is hard when you get to this age.
No.
It takes a lot longer, it does, love. It does,
Can't
honest.
believe that. How old are you? Come on, tell us.
29 now.
29, that's a baby, isn't it?
Well, the Alzheimer's is kicking in now. You know, it's hardest to remember the lyrics these days.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you ever have that as a problem, like where you forget words and stuff?
Yeah, I forget stuff all the time, so I just kind of like just make up nursery rhymes on the spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, it's handy, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So what else has been going on? Have you been, like, doing the old studio routine?
Yeah, well, we finished, like, the album around about a month and a half ago now. So, like, we've just been doing all the artwork and just getting haircuts and stuff like that. Kind of not shaving.
Not shaving?
Kept the beards on because we thought it looked artistic. And that's it, really. Just been getting ready.
And it's been fairly exciting for you recently, then, with this new album on the way?
I know when you finish an album, you just feel dead nervous. You feel just nervous and competitive at the same time. So, like, you start losing you start losing your sleep and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel it's the best work you've done so far?
Well, that's the big cliche, isn't it? You know, every band says that. They says, what's your favourite album? The new one. Yeah, they always say that. So, inevitably, yeah, you always feel as if your best album is your new one. And you can only ever judge what was your best, work, so to speak, with hindsight when you're about 50 years old.
I've got to say, I love your new single. I absolutely adore it. It's brilliant.
No, that's not very much.
It's fantastic. And the video, right, you've got to explain this to me. It's a bit bizarre, isn't it? You look gorgeous on it as well.
I know. I know. It's amazing what they can do with a bit of film.
Yeah, you're lovely.
Now, basically, the video is just about, it's like a warning for the future. Basically, kind of this kind of it's very experimental kind of vibe about it. Very kind of experiments being carried out on us in a future space, and we kind of succumb to that experiment.
Right. So the single is about, like, if we're putting up with this now, imagine what's going to happen in the future to our kids, sort of.
No, kind of the song takes a lot of its inspiration from the Spanish Civil War. Just people winning, came from all over Europe and fought in Spain. Again, something that wasn't directly affecting them. So it's just taking something from the past and using it as a metaphor for the future, just saying, would that happen now?
What made you come up with that, then?
It's just one of Nick's. Well, Nick writes the lyrics, and basically it's just one of his little obsessions.
Really?
Yeah. Loads of people from Wales went and fought in the Spanish Civil War. Loads of people, just left their families and just went and fought in not a peasant army, but a very simple kind of like, militia. So it's just saying, would that happen today? Probably not.
If you tolerate this, your children will be next. All right, so tonight we're talking to James at the Manic Street Preachers.
We came, we saw, we kicked it. Saturday Night Live.
So what do you hope for, like, the next couple of months, then? You've got a tour coming up, yeah?
Yeah, it's just, like, nice to be able to go on tour and just be a bit more physical and switch your brain off. Just use your body a bit more and just, like, not be cerebral about everything and just think about it. Just actually get reactions off people and just get a bit loaded and just, like, just kind of waste a couple more brain cells, basically.
Is that what you do when you're on tour? Just get nutted every night?
I kind of do, yeah. Nick and Sean don't. Nick and Sean are much more home-loving characters. But I tend to kind of drink a rapid amount of brain cells away every tour that passes.
Really? Can I come on tour with you? Because it sounds my kind of thing, actually.
Oh, there's free alcohol every night, man.
Really?
There is, yeah.
Well, I've got to be there.
There'll be plenty of blogs for you to pull as well.
Whee! That's what I need to do at the minute. I'm telling you, it's certain me being this single. So what else is going to be going on? Like, you're going to be doing America and all that?
No, we're doing Britain. Then we're going to Europe, doing all of Europe and stuff. Then I got to do, like, a promotional trip to Japan and Australia. Oh, it's a hard job, this.
Oh, I'm telling you.
And then we do a arena tour at Christmas. Then we we'll probably go and play Australia after Christmas.
How exciting.
So we're booked up for a while.
So what is the most exciting thing for you, then, being a part of the Manics?
Loads of it, I can pinpoint the good and the bad. The good is writing the songs, then recording them. And then, the actual record living up to what you thought it might be. Then going on tour and just meeting loads of people and for me, I don't know, I just like it. Yeah, it's just kind of, I'm a bit more of a kind of male bonder. I like being on tour with all the lads and just having a drink and stuff.
It's the best bit for you when you're actually on the stage in front of everybody and performing?
Yeah, it probably feels a bit sadistic sometimes because if you're playing to, like, around about 10,000 people, you feel as if you've got loads of power over them.
Really?
Yeah, so it just feels really kind of, I don't know, it's a bit strange, really.
How does it feel like, with all your fans and stuff like that? Is that a really good feeling?
Well, a lot of our fans are, like, famous for being, like, really possessive and obsessive about us.
Really?
So kind of,
Do you have any right weirdos, then?
Yeah, we're famous for getting quite extreme fans.
Fruitcakes, yeah.
Oh, I'll be a bit more polite about them than that.
No, fruitcakes.
But no, we're always aware that we can do something that makes them feel as if we've betrayed the essence of what the band's about.
Do you think you're a little bit crazy, sort of, deep down then?
No, I'm very grounded.
I'm not.
Very ordinary. I am. I'm very I get all my say intellectual appeasement from actually writing the songs in the band. But once I've actually recorded the album and like constructed an album, after that I'm a very simple man. After that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this what you always wanted to do then? When you were a little kid, did you think to yourself, yeah, right, I'm going to be in a group, I'm going to be this,
Well, yeah, Nick, myself and Nick were always in the same classes in school. And he always kind of persisted that he was going to either be a famous sportsman, a famous politician, or a famous rock star. And he dragged me along in tow, and I started believing his in what he was saying. And from the age of 15, I only ever saw my future as being in a band or being an actor.
And you have to believe in yourself, don't you, to get where you want to get?
Yeah, well, we believe in ourselves to a ridiculous amount, though. We couldn't actually envisage any kind of failure. Couldn't actually envisage having an ordinary job. We were just really childish about it, basically. But we set ourselves up for a fall, so thank God we actually did manage to succeed. Otherwise, we'd have been very embittered from an early age, I think.
What about the fame thing, then? Does it make you feel like a bit weird? Do you like the fame, or could you do without it?
I don't think that kind of question's that relevant to us, because if you think of bands like Radiohead or Verve or Pulp or Oasis, like all their frontmen, Damon Albarn, Richard Ashcroft, Tom York, Jarvis Cocker, they're all kind of recognisable as entities in themselves. They're almost like TV stars. Whereas myself, I'm much more, not as visible as those like from Enum. I'm much more part of a band, really. So it's not as hard for me, say, as it is for like Liam or Jarvis Cocker, just because they're just famous for being famous to a certain degree.
Built on variety. GWR FM.
Today's Better Music Mix, and tonight we're talking to James Dean Bradfield from Manic Street Preachers. And the question I want to ask you is, when you're drunk, are you like a bit wild? Are you a bit rock and roll?
No, I'm not really. I just I'm happy drunk. I'm a very I wouldn't say charming, but a very happy, lovable drunk rather than a nasty one. Yeah.
Are you a bit of a tiger when you're drunk then?
No, I'm just nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just a smiling fool.
Oh, yeah. When I get drunk, I'm just like, well, I won't go into what I'm like, but I'm just awful.
I can imagine. I heard you talking about your pull the other day.
Oh, no! I've just got a brace on my teeth, you see. And I was saying I'm never going to be able to pull again. And they said, oh, Mel, we'll give you a week. And it was like 3 days. And I was like, hey, Paul, we're here, tiger. So there you go. How exciting for me. So you've worked with loads of people, haven't you? Who's been the most exciting person that you've worked with?
I gotta miss really boring answers. Nick and Sean and Richey, it's always been within the band. It's always the most exciting part of life for me, is just being, in the band I'm in.
And is it because they're your best mates as well?
Yes, because we all grew up with each other. So, before we were in the band, we were mates anyway. Like, a lot of bands form, it's like, guitarists required, and they meet up for the first time, they try to write songs with each other, and after releasing their first album, they realise they absolutely hate each other.
Yeah.
With us, it was different. We were all friends before we were musicians, so they, if you're all really, best mates before being musicians, then there's not going to be any ego involved when you form a band, because you want to be best mates anyway,
That's always the best way. Like, loads of bands go through different bass and different drummers and all that, don't they?
Yeah, no, kind of like the exploding drummer kind of syndrome. No, we're nothing like that. We just all really get on with each other, and we all fit into our own little slots. It'll be fine.
So what's been the wildest thing, if you had to put a finger on it, that you've done, something really mad and crazy, what was it?
It's probably just getting into dodgy fights and stuff when I was young. Just having...
Were you a bit of a yob?
Not a yob, but, stood up for myself.
Did you?
Oh, I did, yeah. I was a little Tasmanian devil, I was.
Really?
No, just fighting against the odds when you're young. I think that's the maddest thing you can do, is just, you going out with your mates and just, fighting against the odds. I think it's probably the most stupid thing you can do.
Was that after a few drinks?
No, not really.
No?
It's probably over there's a lot of valley versus valley in world, because we're from a valley. It's like, the boys from, up Tredegar against the boys from Blackwood. It's just that kind of thing, really.
Right. Do you speak cool Welsh, then?
No, I know what Waterby is and Welsh and stuff like that, but I don't really speak Welsh.
It's a lovely language, the way they speak, isn't it?
It is, yeah, especially when a girl speaks it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Not sure about the blokes, but...
Put on your best Welsh accent.
No, I'm not going to. No,
I think it's sexy. Because I'm
you're in the minority.
Really?
Yeah. Not many people find it sexy.
I think the Welsh and I think the Irish are sexy accents.
I definitely go for the Irish thing. I go for the Irish thing, definitely.
See, I'm not into Scottish. A lot of people are into Scottish, but I'm not into... That sounds so bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's slightly xenophobic, Mel, but, you know, kind of, you're going to get away with it, I think.
Yeah. All right, then, that'll be cool.
Saturday Night Live.
So what about winning the Brits and all that? Was that a really good buzz for you?
Yeah, it was, you know, and kind of... It was just, you know, a really humbling experience, to be honest. We didn't expect it at all.
Was it a real shock?
It was a shock, yeah, it was. But, you know, kind of like, I know, you know, probably me and my mother, you know, kind of like probably as happy as she's ever been in the last, you know, 10 years. So, you know, for if it just wasn't for any other reason except for just having the awards in a living room kind of thing, you know.
Oh, is that where it is at your mum's?
Yeah, I don't want them. They're tacky things, man.
No.
They are.
Oh, I'd have them all flashing over my house. I'd have them all lit up so that when people came around my house, they'd oh, there's my Brit. Oh,
I'd have to dust them all the time. I can't be doing with that.
No, you're not very house proud then.
No, I just like, I've got a bit of a post-modern minimalist vibe, you know, straight lines everywhere, everything in its shelves, everything in its place. I'm a very tidy boy.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. What star sign are you?
Pisces.
I am as well.
Oh, my God.
How bizarre! When's your birthday?
21st of Feb.
Oh, mine's 12th of March. That must be a Pisces thing, you know?
Well, being tidy and stuff. Yeah, it's just kind of like, it's kind of, you can't ever imagine that living with somebody because other people are just really messy.
Yeah,
I don't like that. I like a bit of hoovering.
Are you a bit like dizzy-headed and romantic and living your dream world then?
Used to be when I was younger, but much more of a realist now.
I'm a bit dizzy, I think. I've got to admit it. I'm up there in the clouds.
I had you down for more of an animalistic kind of person.
Really?
Well, you know, I only met you for a minute. You were talking about what you pulled the other night.
Oh, you cheeky little mink shoe. What are you like? So what about future-wise? What is your dream? If you had to put, say, this is my ultimate dream, what I want, or if you feel like you've already done it?
You know, from the last album, we sold loads of records, but we still haven't had a #1 record in any kind of form. We never had a #1 album or a single, so just at the moment, just to have a #1 of some sort would just be nice for us, really. Just because it's symbolic of just like of some kind of success, really.
Do you feel like #1 is the ultimate thing then? I don't know whether I...
Well, we're just train spotters, you know, those Guinness Book of, you know, kind of hit records. To look back at your record and see at least one #1 in there is just quite important, really.
Today's better music mix means variety. GWR FM.
Street Preachers.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. Saturday Night Live.
So what was it like working with Kylie then?
The Kyle she's beautiful, she's lovely, you know, kind of,
Did you go to her or did she come to you?
Well, kind of, no, it's through a mutual friend, really. Was somebody that worked at a record company, he suggested it, and then kind of he just set it in motion. And, basically we just had a meeting and just really got on with her. You know, she's just lovely, she's beautiful, just really easy to get on with. A lot of people are surprised when I say this, but I love her voice. Her voice is exactly like, there's this timeless singer called Carol something, I can't remember her name, but her voice is exactly like this timeless singer that kind of, he's one of my favourite singers, and I just wanted to work with her. And it was just, you know, it was nothing to do with the Manics. She's probably worked with her in a completely different way, but it was just like...
I think you changed her image, you know, definitely.
Well, I don't know. I feel as if I failed her a tiny bit, but...
No, I think you give her cred, without a doubt.
Oh, she had cred already, as far as I'm concerned.
She had cred, but she didn't have that, like, street sort of thing. I don't know, I can't explain it, but beforehand, you were sort of a Stock Aitken Waterman sort of thing, you know.
Oh, no, but I love records like Shocked and, like, you know, Bet the Devil You Know.
Put Yourself in My Place is my favourite one.
No, I like Bet the Devil You Know. I love that one. That's a brilliant song. I love that.
One of your favourites?
It is, yeah, I love it.
If you could work with anybody then, ideally, who would it be?
Probably either Chuck D from Public Enemy or Joe Strummer, I think, really. Oh, Jeff Buckley. It used to be Jeff Buckley. I used to love Jeff Buckley, but God rest his soul, he's not with us anymore. So probably those three people.
So could you see yourself working with anybody in the near future then, or do you just want to keep it as Manic Street Preachers as a band sort of thing? Oh,
no, I only answered that question because it's like a fantasy question, but... No, just, I'm just happy working with these guys. You know, kind of, that makes me happy enough, and, you know, I just... To be honest, you know, they're my favourite people to be with, so I think I'll stick with Nicky and Sean.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet the way that you say things like that.
It's not bad, but if you think about, you know, some of your friends you grew up with, you know, you still, like, love them and just, you know, want to go out drinking with them and stuff, don't you?
I do, but the thing with me, like, I've grown... I mean, they'll always be my friend for life, but you take your own different paths I have with my school friends.
Well, yeah, it's just in a strange position. I just end up, you know, being in a band with my, you know, kind of people I grew up with. So it's just, I'm in a strange position. It's hard to vision, you know, kind of envisage what it's like to be in our position.
So what can I expect from you from the future then?
Nothing. It's all boring. We're going on tour and releasing more singles.
That's not boring, is it?
Just a walk-in press release, you know. We're on tour in August and September and October. So, you know, nothing much except for touring. For a while.
Does it do your head in having to do radio and TV and all that?
No, not really. No.
You're quite comfortable with doing...
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of... It's my job. It's what I was built. It's what I was built for, you know.
It's rock and roll.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much for talking to me. You've been absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much, Mel.
Wall-to-wall hits.